Thanks to IFSS organizers and Hari for giving, this opportunity to talk about this wonderful topic, which people know so little about. Not that they don't know, but they don't identify, they don't realize that it's called pain body. It's an amazing topic, which we all need to know. And as I always say, even if you don't want to practice, I don't mind, but please share with your children. I'm always saying that if something is boring to us because we are too old, it's okay. We will learn it in next life. But for children, they've got long life. Don't think they can't understand this pain body. It's too difficult. We are talking in Crystal Children Academy all about emotions, pain. So this is the only request when I start this topic. Whatever you learn today, little bit, whatever we share. If you have children, if you have grandchildren, while you're having dinner, having a small game with them, just have a conversation. You know something? There is something called pain body. Immediately, you don't have to start conversation. They will start. Tata, what is pain body? Please have this discussion because every human being on this planet need to understand what is pain body because we are suffering. We are suffering due to pain body. That is how I'm going to start my topic today. And masters, let's get into what is pain body and what is that we don't understand about pain body. So masters, I will take you through the topic as much as I can cover. Then we will do a little bit of meditation which takes us to connect to our pain body, and that way we will have better understanding. So every emotional pain that we go through, every emotional pain, that means any emotion that has caused us grief, that is pain, isn't it? Grief is pain. Something that we are not enjoying is pain. So every emotional pain that we have experienced in all our life, it can be when you were 2 years old, 3 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, doesn't matter. We're talking about the entire life. So many things have happened. Someone locked you up in a room. Fear, emotional pain. Father scolded for no reason. Or whatever he thought was not the right reason. Hurt, emotional pain. Friends cheated you. Emotional pain of betrayal. I don't think anyone is there who hasn't gone through pain or emotional pain in the past. Physical pain is different, masters. Physical pain is only there when you are going through that. You get hurt. Yes, it hurts. But after it heals, there is no physical pain. Emotional pain is not like that. When you get a physical pain, every physical pain is associated with an emotional pain. Why? Because this is the story in our mind. We make a beautiful story out of that hurt. Somebody hurt us. Oh, he's so mean. He pushed me. This is what children say. He's so mean. He pushed me. Because of him. He's always like that. His mother will never tell him not to do that. We will also go to his parents, his grandparents, our grandparents. A beautiful story. That is what causes emotional pain. It is not the actual physical hurt that causes emotional pain. It is the story behind that physical pain that gives us pain, not for that time alone, but lifelong. Some emotional pains which are small, with time, they may dissolve into your physical body. Emotional pains have to dissolve into your physical body. There is no other way for it to vanish. But sometimes the emotional pains are big baggages. We think with time they will vanish, but they don't. So we are talking about those emotional pains that we experience that leave behind a residue pain. Residue means something is remaining from the past. And it's not one pain, one on the top of other that lives in you. And what happens is these pains are merging, one pain on the top of another pain on the top of other. So they are all merging. So whatever you had already, on that top another incident happens, that attaches. So where is all this emotional baggage happening, masters? This emotional baggage is all remaining in this body form and mind form. Body form, you understand, because you can see it. What is mind? Mind doesn't have a shape or size, but we all can feel it, isn't it? It is an energy body, you can call it. Mind is all energy. So whatever this residue of emotional baggage that we are carrying, that is in our mind and body. And as I said, if I'm talking to an adult here, this includes all the suffering of the child. When you were a child, how much we have suffered, it doesn't go anywhere. And that's the reason why we are holding inner child healing session on our platform, because we do understand how much baggage we have bottled up inside. But inner child session is a way of healing. But before healing, you need to understand what is happening. Sometimes understanding is the main thing towards healing. You know how doctors say diagnosis is 50% cure? This is also like that. So this suffering that you have been happening since the child, I'm only talking about emotional pain. This is caused by the unconsciousness of the world. What is unconsciousness of the world? We are all having an unconscious life. You know, we are all trapped in unconscious living. 99% of the time, we don't know what we are doing. We are not even conscious. We are eating food like this. Plate is here, food is here. We don't care what is going inside our mouth. We are driving to work. Our thoughts are elsewhere. So this is what is called trap of unconscious living. And this pain body that you are generating, and what did I say the pain body was? The accumulated emotional pain baggage that has accumulated over a time. Right, masters? So this accumulated pain, of course, is a negative field energy which is occupying your body and mind. In spiritual world, in metaphysics terminology, where we say we should not label, there is nothing positive or negative. Everything is only an experience. But we are not really truly living in that terminology. We feel pain. So I am going to use the labeling so that people can understand this language better. So this accumulated energy, this residue pain that is sitting inside since God knows how little we were, it is a negative energy field that is completely occupying your body and mind. So, when you look from outside, you can see, how dark it feels inside. If you can really walk out of your body and see how you feel, the emotional pain body. Now, masters, this emotional pain body is of two types. One, it can be very active, but for most of us, it is dormant. So, most of us, 90% of the time, this pain body, this emotional pain body which is in us is dormant. Dormant means we don't even know it is there. There is no sign. We think there is no sign. But as I go along this topic, I'll tell you there are plenty of signs. It's only that we don't realize that it's the pain body doing the harm or doing the activity. So 90% of the time, we don't even realize that we have the pain body. But if you see a deeply unhappy person, so you can see that the unhappiness is coming from that dormant pain body that's always been residing with him for so long. There are only a handful of people, who are very handful for whom this pain body is active. So, when it's dormant, you won't know. But when it is active, you can see the pain it is causing. So, but very few people, this active pain body happens. So, we need to understand. You may say, oh, no, madam, I don't think I have pain body. It's good if you don't have pain body. But what I'm saying, masters, most of the time it is dormant, and that's why we don't know that we are having that problem or that symptom at all. Some people live almost entirely their life through this pain body, while others, they experience in certain situations, sometimes only, when they are making some new relationship or wife and husband, some intimate relationships. In these, some situations happen linked with something in the past where you lost something big or someone abandoned you. Those kind of situations again triggering, or some emotional hurt or emotional pain that you have been through the past is triggered by your present relationship. Only then it will fire up. So anything can trigger it, masters, particularly if it is resonating with the pain pattern from your past. So if there is no past, there is no trigger. So do you understand? If there is no pain body, what is pain body? Again, reminder, it's a residue, it's a remainder. And there is a past pattern which has been hurting you. And if that the present relationship or the present situation triggers any of that, it will come back in full form. So, when it is ready to awaken from the dormant state, till that point, you didn't even know it was there. So, but if it is like an iceberg, you know how a little bit of tip and the iceberg is going to break? Like that, the dormant pain body is in many of us in a dormant stage. And what you need, just a thought, just one small thought, or even somebody innocently, gives a small remark. Not anybody, someone close to you who you really trust. Innocently, they may give a remark, and that's enough. Boom, it comes out. How many times it has happened, masters? We are shocked. Sometimes we say for good reason. If I can see one of my acquaintance here, like Saroj madam, and if I just casually I say, "Oh, Saroj madam, even today you are wearing yellow sari." I may be only saying because casually I like her seeing in yellow. That's enough for Saroj madam, for the pain body to come out, because she has had very bad experience with someone already saying that, "Don't you have any other colors? Is this the only color you wear? This color doesn't suit you at all. It brings out all the negative shades of you." So she's got that hurt in her. I am very friendly saying, "Oh, today yellow." I'm just going to say, "Today yellow, you look beautiful." But she won't even let me say the next statement, because that pain body is just there, dormant, trying to wake up. And my innocent comment, and why comment from me? Because she trusts me. She knows me very well. She believes me. And when a comment comes from someone that you trust, and that is very, very powerful for the pain body to just become active from dormant state. So some pain body are very, very harmful. Some are not that harmful. They're relatively harmless. They are just there. But, do you see a small child? He's always behind mother, "Amma, give me this, Amma, give me that." He won't do anything. He won't really cry, but he'll be just whining. So some pain bodies are like that. They are always creating that sadness in you. Why I'm saying that they are not very harmful? Now and then you feel sad, but they are not going to break you down. So some are relatively harmless, but some are obnoxious. And when it takes the form of obnoxiousness, that is where the point of breakdown happens in human being, right? They are like true demons, destructive monsters. And some pain bodies go to the extent that they can become physically violent, because inside they are already emotionally violent. The emotional violence is already happening, but it comes out in physical violence. Sometimes when it happens, masters, like I gave the comment, Saroj madam and her yellow sari, if her pain body is violently emotional inside, all I have to say that, and she can become physically violent, and sometimes people lose control, and she can hit me too. It's not a joke, masters. So some will attack people who are around them. So it is not that it is just happened because of your remark. It happened because of the pain body baggage that they are carrying. Thoughts and feelings we have about our life can become negative and self-destructive. This is how the pain body really inflicts us. So, illnesses, accidents, they are often created in this way. It's not that we want it, but that emotional pain baggage that we carry for so long can either come out in a violent physical form or can destroy us inside. You know what? Some pain body go to the extents that they can drive that body to suicide, masters. That is why we need to understand what pain bodies are and what they can do. Sometimes you think you know a person, and then suddenly you see the different aspect of him, and he's become so nasty, and like you are for a shock. These are the times you should notice and understand that there is a big baggage that the person is carrying within her or him. So it is more important, forget about the other person, but more important for us to observe ourselves, what is happening within ourselves. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself, in whatever form. Without any reason, if you're still unhappy, which most of the humanity are. They don't need any reason. It has become their nature. That is the sign. That is awakening the pain body. Watch out. Unless you watch out, you can't awaken the pain body. Otherwise, you don't even know it is there. This pain body can take form of irritation. You can be impatient, very sad mood. And sometimes, after being sad for so long, you are not happy. You don't want others to be happy. So you're always giving sarcastic comments. You always want to hurt others. Sometimes anger. Sometimes anger can become rage. And people who cannot express outside will go inside and make it in the form of a depression. So these people always want a drama, a relationship drama going on because they don't know how to feed that pain body. We've talked about feeding the pain body. But what is the secret here, masters? Catch it the moment it is there. The moment you feel something is not right, start observing. That is the only way to reverse the cycle. Pain body is very nasty. But coming out of pain body is very simple, provided you know. The quality of pain body, we all need to understand. What does it do? It wants to survive. What does it remind you of? I know I've talked many times. There is also something in our body that always wants to survive. It doesn't want to die. What is it? Can anybody put on the chat? There is something in our body that doesn't want to die. Yes, ego. So that is true. The one thing that is within us, ego, it wants to survive. It doesn't want to go away. Pain body is like that. It wants to survive. Just like any other things, like you and me, like a human being, it almost literally is living like another dormant human being in you. And it can only survive if you are unconscious of it. If you don't know that it exists, what it does is, when you don't know, when you are unconscious, it takes its full form and then it becomes you. What does mean becomes you? You start identifying with that pain body and you start living through it. See how stupid we can get when we are unconscious? Because pain body is like a parasite. It needs to feed on you. So it will never leave you. This pain body will feed on any experience that will resonate with its own kind of energy. It will keep seeing, is there any occasion to be sad? Yeah, get on to that because I need that. Because pain body can only become monster if it gets more negative energy. So it's looking for that kind of energy. Anything that can create more pain in whatever form. Anger, destruction, hatred, grief, emotional drama, violence. Anything, take it. It wants something that can make it sad and unhappy. That's all is its food. So the pain body, this is the drama that can create. So when the pain body has completely taken over you like a demon, you know what it will do? It will create a situation in your life that reflects back its own energy frequency. So when you are trying to be one with it, many people say, this is my personality, madam. For some reason, I don't see any reason to be happy. 100% guarantee that the pain body is you. You are the pain body. You are thinking you are the pain body because you are unconscious of it. Remember, masters, pain can only feed on pain. It wants more pain. Pain cannot survive on joy. If you try to give it joy, it will run away. I don't want. I have seen so many people, masters, in my life. They don't want to laugh. They don't want to laugh. Humanity has become like that. If in my 1000 Seeds of Joy session, I am asking people to note it down as a home exercise. This week, completely you are laughing. So we are sending jokes to each other. You know how subtle jokes, how baby jokes we send to each other? Because when you laugh, masters, the joy automatically comes because laughter is working on your third chakra, Manipuraka chakra. And Manipuraka chakra, only two things are, you got only two choice. Either you can survive on ego or you can survive on joy. But when you choose to be laughing, bring laughter in your life, suddenly laughter creates joy and you have made the choice in Manipuraka chakra. It changes your life. But people who have identified themselves with pain body, they don't want joy because they think they are the pain body. And pain cannot survive if you feed joy. So it will not take joy. It wants more sadness. And I have seen people in my close circles where they cannot be happy no matter what, how happy occasions. So we think this is not possible. If we start looking closely, maybe we are one among them, we don't know. So once the pain body has taken over us, we want more pain. So we become a victim of it. Not only victim, we also slowly start radiating this pain energy everywhere. So you know what happens? When you are sitting next to a pain body person, very soon you feel your energy is draining. You will try to make conversation. You know, the other day, I went to that movie John Wick 4. Oh my God, it was fantastic. Okay, I haven't seen John Wick before. I don't know about it. You try to make any conversation, they will not engage in the conversation. Then you will try another one. Have you heard that song, Madhyamavati Ragam? So beautiful. You should hear. I don't know music. I'm not interested in music. I'm not joking, master. Sometimes you sit next to them, you feel, oh my God, when you come back home, without your knowledge, you'll be telling, I feel so exhausted. Actually, I had good food. Food was good in the party, but I feel exhausted. Remember, when you're sitting next to a pain body victim, he will perpetuate pain body all around him or her. That is the nature of pain body. So, have to be careful when that is happening. If you can't make him happy, move away. And because the people who carry pain body, they want to inflict pain. They want to suffer pain. They want others to suffer. They don't see any difference between the two. They suffering, others suffering, it's all the same. But the problem is, this is happening because they are not conscious. We are living unconsciously. Those people will claim, oh, I don't want pain, because they don't even realize that they are literally have identified themselves with the pain body. So look closely and you will find that your thinking, your behavior, it is all totally designed to keep that pain going. But for that, you have to look very closely. If you were truly conscious of this pain body, that's enough. The pattern will dissolve. It will dissolve the moment you are conscious. You see what is happening. Because to want more pain, at that moment is insanity. When you are conscious, you will realize what are you doing to yourself. So, masters, the pain body, it is the dark shadow which is cast by our ego. See, earlier I said, do you realize anything that wants to survive? And many masters said ego. Yes, because this pain body is a child of ego. This is the dark shadow which is cast by our ego. It is afraid. It is afraid of what? The light of consciousness. What is consciousness? Being aware, observing. This is consciousness. Consciousness means witness mode, Sakshi Tattvam, observing. When you start doing Sakshi Tattvam with what is happening to yourself, it can't survive. So it doesn't want the light of consciousness. It is afraid of being found out because its survival is dependent on unconsciousness. It doesn't want you to identify it. So pain body wants you to be unconscious. And it also is very happy of your unconscious fear of facing the pain that lives in you. You know, who are having the pain body, it's so dormant that they're so fearful. They don't want more pain because that is their worry. And that's what ego wants. Ego wants you to live in fear. You know, masters, 90% of humanity today is living in fear. You know where the fear affects? In Mooladhara Chakra, our first chakra, survival chakra. Unless we come out of fear, we can't release our survival instincts. The main Mooladhara Chakra is to help us with our daily survival. But if we live in fear, we are not working at all, even for little bit of evolution. So this pain body wants you to be fearful. Oh my God, that situation should not come. Oh my God, that should not happen. That unconscious fear that is happening is your pain body. If you don't face your pain body, if you don't bring the light of your consciousness into the pain, then how will you get relieved of the pain body? The pain body may seem to you like a dangerous monster that you can't bear to look at it sometime. Even if you have, you don't want to think about it. So many times, masters, we know there is something happening. I can't face it. I often tell this. Somebody, you had a bad experience. You come home. You don't want to think about it. You will put TV on the loud volume so that your thoughts are drowned. You will start talking loudly. You take a magazine, just flip it 1 to 100 page, just to turn your face away from, that big monster that is within you. But masters, turning away your face from the pain body is not going to be the answer to it. We have so many spiritual teachings. They all are saying that pain is an illusion, right? When we start reading Vedanta or great masters' books and everything, you are having pain is an illusion, all drama, maya. That may be true when you reach that state. But at this state, when you have pain, do you really feel like that? No. Because when you are in pain body, that pain is true. That's the truth for you. Of course, when you reach that level where you can see pain and pleasure as one, then you can understand that it is maya, that is illusion. But from the point of the pain body where you are struggling today, this pain is true for you. So just believing and reading in the books is not going to make it true. Do you want to experience pain for the rest of your life and keep saying that it's an illusion? We use that word illusion because we don't want to face it. Don't you feel that you want to be free of this pain body? So important is, if this is the experience that we are going through, then when we have to realize our truth, that this is real for us. So the pain body doesn't want you to observe it directly, doesn't want you to recognize, doesn't want you to see it for what it is. The moment you observe it, you start feeling the energy field, the dark energy field within you, and you take your attention to your pain body. The moment this identification happens, my dear masters, a higher dimension of consciousness has come in, which is much higher than the dark cloud which is within you. And what is this higher dimension called? A very simple term that we all know. Presence. So you are now the witness. The moment the presence and the higher dimension of consciousness, you start focusing on that. Now you are in the Sakshi Tattva, witness mode. What are you witnessing? You are witnessing the pain body. When you are witnessing something, that means you are observing something. The object and subject are different, so you can't be the object, isn't it? So when you are observing your pain body, that means you have already separated yourself from the pain body. So now you can't pretend to be that pain body, and that pain body can no longer replenish through you or live through you. You have found your own innermost strength at that point of time. And what is that, master? Present moment awareness, present moment consciousness. So important. Answer is simple, but practice, that's what it lies. So what happens to the pain body, masters, when we become suddenly conscious, where we are able to break our identification with it? All this time we are saying, this is we, I am the pain body. That's how you're living. You don't even know. So what happens? So what happens is, it's like shining light to the darkness. So you cannot fight darkness. Can you fight darkness? You are in the darkness. Can you just fight it? No. What you have to do, masters? You have to bring light to dissolve the darkness. Similarly, you cannot fight the pain body. The moment you start resisting, it will take the monstrous form. If you start fighting with your pain body after you have recognized it, it will create more inner conflict and it will cause more pain. You don't have to fight it. I always say in my classes, the more you resist, the more it will persist. That is the true nature of ourselves and everything that is in our emotional body. And pain body is also the part of it. So let's not have conflict and fight with it when we have simple solution. And what is the simple solution? Watching is enough. Watching implies that you are accepting whatever it is. And the moment we accept anything in our life, it dissolves. Why, masters? In the whole universe, everything has got only one need. Acknowledge me and love me. Every particle in this universe wants love. And love cannot happen without acknowledgement. First of all, we have to accept that the thing exists. Even pain body is like that. Fighting will not help. You observe, acknowledge that it is. That's enough. So instead of fighting, the answer to it is be aware. Because the pain body consists of trapped energy. It's a trapped life energy. And where did that energy come from? From your total energy field. From your total energy. Remember all the cosmic energy that you're taking? A part of that, that is being trapped into that pain body. And it's become autonomous. You don't have to make it survive. You don't have to give everyday food. It will survive on its own. It's become autonomous. It knows where to grab energy. It's got this unnatural process. It will make sure that the body, the person identifies himself or herself with the pain body. So it starts itself, and it's a very anti-life process. Why do I call it anti-life? Because it is working against our life force. People who have pain body inside, they feel drained. They feel that their life energy is spending away. That's why you don't see any enthusiasm in them. Very difficult for them to come out of it because they think they are that, but they are not that. So this is the reason, masters, why our present civilization has become so self-destructive. You talk to young children, young people working, depressed, anxious, no will, suicide, pain body. There is nobody to sit and talk and explain to them what is happening with them. Even the life-destructive so-called force, they are also part of our life energy. So when you start to stop identifying with this pain body and you start watching it, then what happens? The pain body will continue to operate for some time. And then it will start tricking you because it doesn't want to go. It fights. It is like a parasite. So it will try to trick you, saying, I'm not different, I am you. But the moment you decide that you are not going to feed any more energy, I know you are there, you are not me. The moment you consciously say, I am not you, identification breaks, and then the things start churning the other way. Because it's like a wheel, masters. It has got momentum. The immediately you observe, it may not go because the wheel has to turn. There is inertia, there is momentum. So it takes some time for the spinning wheel to turn before you can start seeing the change. So after this session, you want to start observing your pain body. I observed, oh, my life has not changed. Don't say that. It will take some time because it's like a wheel spinning. Put more light of consciousness into it because it's proven. It's not you alone. Whoever learns about pain body, they are all understanding how it operates. So, masters, this pain body sometimes goes to a level, emotional baggage gets so much that it turns into physical pains, masters. Physical pain all over. But there is no physical illness without that. This happens. So when you start being conscious of this, stop identifying with it, being conscious, that awakening slowly comes. You need to be present enough to be able to watch this pain body, directly feel that energy. You feel how draining it is. And slowly it will stop controlling your thinking. The moment your thinking is aligned with the energy of the pain body, you are identified with it again. So don't become unconscious. The moment you feel you are one with it, that's what it will latch it. So when you're practicing to come out of this pain body, give it some time. That is very, very important. See, for example, masters, if anger is our main energy in our body, because some people are angry all the time, if that is the predominant energy vibration in the pain body, and you are thinking angry thoughts, and always dwelling on what that person did to you, what this person did to you. This is how we live unconsciously, and that anger body is being more fed with your thoughts. So remember, when there is always anger, you're feeling anger, you have to understand that there is pain underneath. When the dark mood comes, what is a dark mood? Sadness. When it comes upon you and you start getting a negative mind pattern, and sometimes it goes to a point, how dreadful my life is. Understand, your thinking has been aligned with your pain body, and you have become unconscious, and you have become vulnerable to your pain body attack. Unconsciousness leads to vulnerability. Unconsciousness, this word is very important and attached with our pain body, masters. What is unconsciousness? It means complete absence of who we are. We don't even realize who we are. We don't understand what's going on. We have put our life in autopilot mode. So, very important that sustained consciousness, not just once, repeatedly you have to be conscious, give conscious attention. When you do that, it breaks the link between the pain body and your thought process, and that's where the the transmutation or transition starts happening. As if, the pain becomes the fuel, masters. Earlier, the pain was dragging you down. Now, the pain will start feeding energy to your consciousness. The process reverses. So, what happens when the pain is feeding energy to your consciousness? It burns. It burns for the cause and it dissolves. It is very important. So, if we summarize the process, focus attention on the feeling inside you, masters. Very important. When you understand, you know that it's pain body, accept it. Don't start fighting it. Don't think about it. Don't let the feeling turn into a thinking. Many times when we start focusing inside, pain body, so what should I do? Last time, what did I do? What is it going to cost? Don't go into a thinking pattern. Just accept it. First thing, I told you, acknowledge, accept. 2 A's, never forget in life for anything. Acknowledge, accept. Acknowledge, accept. Wherever there is even physical pain, mental pain, emotional pain, anything you have in life, remember 2 A's philosophy. Acknowledge, accept. Everything vanishes, masters. The moment you acknowledge and you accept, it dissolves. Same story is happening here. Don't judge or analyze. Don't make an identity of yourself. Don't say, that is me. That is not you. You are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are not your ego. You are not your mind. You have to repeatedly tell yourself, because forgetfulness. That is what in Thousand Seeds of Joy, Amma said. Anand Karnishji asked a question to Amma. Amma, we are so divine, isn't it? We all know we are divine. Then why, Amma, we are not able to be connected to our divine nature all the time? Why I don't feel that I am Brahmananda, I am the source of love? Why each of us are not feeling it every second? Not once in a while sitting in meditation. Every second, why are we not feeling it? Amma so kindly told that divine energy, the divine consciousness said, because you forget. Because you have this gift of forgetfulness. It is a gift, masters. And we can talk about this gift later. But because of your forgetfulness, you cannot remember that you are divine. And that is the problem when you forget, to the point that you start identifying yourself with the pain body. So stop identifying yourself. Stay present. Continue to be the observer of what is happening inside you. Become aware not only of the emotional pain, but also of the one who is observing, the silent watcher. That is you. You are the silent watcher. Remember, masters. Never forget. And once you start taking this mode, then you will understand, masters, how easy it is to disidentify from your pain body and use your pain body to feed your consciousness, and then your pain body will dissolve in no time. So, masters, here we are talking about pain body. Pain body, so far what I talked to you was pain body in individuals. You, me, our friend, husband, wife. But before I close this session, I want to leave a thought with you people and go away, because there is something more related to pain body that I want each one of you to think after the session. Yes, we have talked enough about what is pain body, how it happens. I mean, within the time we have been allocated, we have talked about it. But I want you all to understand, pain bodies are of two types, personal and group. All that we talk today is personal pain body. But when there is a mass pain body, that means pain body the entire masses are carrying, the effect it has on humanity is so destructive that we don't know why it is happening. You think, I'm fine, I am happy, but why things are happening to me? Remember, masters, this is called mass pain body, this is called group pain body. And I'm able to say this because me being a woman, and what has been happening to women as a total group for centuries in patriarchal society, women have gone through a lot of suffering. I, in particular, may not have gone through any suffering because I think I've had a great life and spiritual benefit in this life. But that doesn't make me hide from the mass pain body. Today, women pain body is affecting many individual women, and they are not able to realize why this is happening. So women as a group are suffering and going through this pain body. I don't have time to talk about this women pain body, but surely one day when we catch up again, we have to talk about the mass pain body and how do we come out of it, because it's not that we are creating, we are being subjected to this mass. And just before I stop talking on this session, that is what we have started, masters, on our foundation, a new project called Saheli. Saheli is a spiritual support platform for women, because we have realized individually I can do counseling one-on-one. People do counsel. But this is not an individual issue. This is a mass issue. This is a women issue. So, masters, I just wanted to leave this thought with you. There is a support network that we have recently kicked. Through support network, we want to really reach out to women in a group, a mass pain body format. But I want each of you to think how this mass pain body, personal pain body, can really cause havoc in our life. Please share this with your children so that they know about this pain body from an early age, so that they can practice to recognize it when it happens. Don't wait that they don't understand. They understand everything better than us. So talk about it. Talk to your friends. This is not a spiritual taboo topic that people will not will hesitate to talk. Like meditation, many people don't want to do it because it's spiritual. Pain body is not like that. You can talk to anyone and everyone because the whole world is struggling because of it. So start the conversation in a bus, in a train, when you are at work. Don't hesitate to be the starter of this topic because the world needs you. We are talking about this pain body topic here because you are the leaders of this pain body. That's why this information is going to you. Spread this information all around the world, masters. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. That's such a wonderful topic and wonderful meditation as well. It has equal importance today in terms of, we all had such an amazing meditation and topic. Practically, how should we, because this is a main block, I'm focusing on this block as well, like in terms of how can we drop this or get more understanding internally? What sort of mindset that we need to have to say, like, this definition of me should be diminished. Otherwise, getting rid of or disassociating from pain body is very tough thing. So how can we diminish it, or what sort of mindset that we need to have?
Yeah, you're so right, Hari. Within the 40 minutes that I used for this topic, I had to put everything together in a quick format But the main thing is, how do you start with this process? How do you even realize that you're going through a pain body kind of a thing? Because everyone thinks it's, I don't have the problem, the next person may have it. You don't even need to have the problem at all, masters. I would say, Hari, that light of consciousness, whether you're feeling the pain body or not, once in a while, we always have to come back to present moment awareness. This is all boiling down to one main thing, that is present moment awareness. What is light of consciousness? Light of consciousness is being aware of what we are doing, what we are thinking, what we are saying. Every now and then, even now when I'm talking to you, I have mentally taken a pause and I'm doing present moment awareness now. What is coming out of my mouth? What is happening here? So 3 things are always happening, masters. Thoughts, emotions, and the words. They come in very quick succession. So how do you even acknowledge that it is happening? The only way is practice more present moment awareness. It is difficult. I'm not saying it is easy, what Hari has mentioned today. And Hari, that is why we do inner child healing session 4 times a year on our platform. It is a 3-hour session, masters. I'm saying it is easy, but I'm not saying it's easy. Because you need to disassociate with the pain body, which is really difficult. In our inner child sessions, Hari, we are literally taking our inner child. Inner child doesn't mean that it's a child. That is the pain body that we are carrying. We're literally taking it out and putting it outside. In my inner child workshop, we place 2 physical cushions, 2 physical seats. Because for mind, it is so difficult. How do I disassociate with the pain body? So we are literally taking this pain body and saying, you sit in front of me in that chair. I have got nothing to do. So whenever we try to associate, no, you are there, I am here. So masters, the shortcut answer to what Hari has said, again and again, you have to bring this attention to your topic. How can we be in the observer mode? It may just not be just for pain body. It could be for our whole functioning in an objective mode. Present moment, more and more, every now and then, bring it a practice, make it a practice in your life. You're going in a train, just for a couple of seconds, just start observing what is happening at the moment to me. It starts very small, but the more you practice, without your knowledge, you start observing. And then these hidden demons, pain bodies, will just stare at you. Hari, it's not an easy thing because it is entwined with our life. We have become the pain body. So very difficult to separate them. But we all can make effort, especially in groups we can make effort. Hari, one thing I've seen, many practices are very difficult to do it alone because they are boring, they are time consuming, we don't believe it. But when we do in groups, you realize that I'm not the only one. Oh, there are 100 people with the pain body. That's okay. Then, so I think we're in a group conscious world where we want to do things together and so things are happening easily. I mean, that's the only answer I can give, Hari.
Wow. No, that's pretty good. See, I always say there are no magics that happen in spirituality. People think that the spirituality means, it happens, some magical thing happens. It's all real. So real. We have to actually put in effort and then work out on ourselves. So that's pretty good.
That's why I was saying, I said that, pain is Maya. You go to some great Siddha who is over there. You say, what pain? What is pain? What is pleasure? Pleasure is Maya, pain is Maya. But if pleasure is not Maya for us, then pain cannot be Maya for us. If pleasure is Maya, then pain automatically will be Maya. That is the check for us, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks.
See, we understand now, we start doing practice and slowly, control and accept and, for the light, come out of the pain body. But how to deal the situation when you're talking to somebody is getting for, like you just said, you simply say anything, yellow color sari, Saroj, and then they start shouting and even witty and radio. So how to deal with those kind of people? The moment you go and talk to them, they are totally illogical, getting arrogant, shouting, screaming. Then what to do in those situations? Though we understand that we are or I am in the pain body and I am controlling myself, but how to deal those situations?
Yes, sir. First of all, when we reach to that state that we start understanding what is pain body, how it works, the first thing that happens, that comes in us, is karuna, empathy. Because once you start understanding how it plays havoc in people's life, and then everything starts making sense, the penny drops, why he was behaving like that, why she was behaving like that, all the anger and hatred and grudge melts within us, because now we understand the background story, and the karuna, the empathy starts flowing out of it. It should happen. Because once you know why people are behaving this way, at least the least we can do is the empathy bit. So next time when you're talking to some person, and just like this, out of blue, that person is reacting in a very violent way, emotionally violent way. Of course, I'm not talking about physical. Physical, you have to remove yourself from that situation. That is the safety precaution. But here I'm only talking emotional. Then, bura mat maniye, don't feel bad. Because your immediate reaction is, char aur suna ke aa jao, say 4 more things and, make the relationship totally horrible. You understand pain body, no? Don't go into reactive mode. Your body will say, go into reactive mode. He cursed you twice, you curse him 4 times. No, go in the response mode. There is a lot of difference between reaction and response. Reaction is autopilot mode. Reaction doesn't need much of thinking. Our body is ready. One person slaps you, slap him twice. He closes the door, you bang the door on him. Nobody has to train us. It's all there in our conditioning very well. But response means just give 1 minute. Think. There is no rush. You don't have to answer immediately. Nobody is going to kill you if you don't answer immediately. Take that 1 minute. Understand. Bring your knowledge. Yes, I learned about pain body. This is what madam said. Yes, this is so close to it. Oh, feel empathy for that person, that he doesn't realize that he's suffering from pain body. Don't say anything about pain body then. Just be quiet and smile. See what your smile and quietness is going to do on the other man. First, he will think, why is he not reacting? Next, tears will start flowing inside or outside, and that person will come back to you and say, I'm so sorry. I should not have snapped at you like this, but I don't know what is happening these days, Whatever people say, I feel bad. Then, shuru ho gaya. You got the starting point. The window is open now, sir. Make him sit next to you. That's all right. That's what happens when there is pain body. Bas shuru ho gaya. You got an opening for pain body. Pura wisdom lecture, you can again continue with that person, sir. And that is the way we can help our fellow human beings. Bit of patience and empathy.
Next is, this is one question that I had seen. How can we heal a person who's wrapped in an unconscious state?
Many times we spiritual aspirants feel very uncomfortable. Oh, I'm changing, but the world is not changing. How do I? You don't have to worry about the world, because when you change and the transformation is happening within you, it is visible. Though it takes a little while, the radiance, the love, the empathy, the energy that is flowing out of you, people can feel it. And they will be drawn to you, and you don't have to worry, how can I handle them? How can I handle them? That is the attraction that comes out of it. So, how to deal with people who are around me with pain body? They will come to you in some form or the other. You sit in the shop, you go to shopping mall, you'll be sitting there and somebody will come and say, I'm not feeling that good today, sir. Oh, what is happening? I don't know. Since morning, I'm feeling very low. That could be the pain body. So people will come to you, and trust me, that is how people come to me. I go to places where no spiritual congregation is going on, but they will come to me and say, I don't know, madam, why I'm feeling very restless. Don't you do meditation? What meditation? I learned when I was 5 years old. Oh, so why don't you continue? So like that, you don't have to look for opportunity. Universe will give you, provided you have intention and pure heart. So if you all are practicing pain body and have the intention, trust me, the world will come to you to know more about it. That's how I believe, Hari.
When we hurt someone, and then when we realize that we actually hurt that person, and then when we do all the kind of forgiveness exercises or whatever it is to heal ourselves, but still, there is one thing that looks inside us, that whether that other person has actually forgiven us or not, which might take time. And this time, this wait time of the other person forgiving us sometimes adds to our pain body,
Yes. Yes.
No, even though we realized we have asked for forgiveness, but this space until the other person forgives us. And so in that space, how should we be or maintain ourselves? Or do we need to continue doing these exercises?
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
how long we need to wait? What if it takes lifetime for the other person?
Whenever such occasions, such instances happen where, like Hari said, you have hurt somebody and that so-called guilt is eating you away because you're not sure whether that person had a chance to really forgive you. Because sometimes, two scenarios. Sometimes you cannot approach him, or he's not accessible to say personally sorry. Or sometimes your ego is still working and you don't want to personally go and say sorry. So both the scenarios are there. So first of all, that forgiveness thing really works. Whether you are able to say physically, verbally to that person sorry or not, that is not important. Whether what is happening with the other person, first of all, take it out of your circle of thinking. Spirituality means non-interference. Don't worry about what's happening to the outer world. You are responsible for your inner world first. So that guilt has to go from your end. And you are, the moment you have realized that a mistake has happened and you are trying to heal that through forgiveness, that itself should make the guilt go. But if it is not going, like as Hari said, you want things to happen quickly, which may not happen in your sight, then don't use this as an excuse, what I'm saying, okay? Go through the forgiveness part first. And even then, if that thing is not going out of your sight, then understand that this experience has come to you because you have asked for it. When you realize that you have drawn this experience to yourself, everything that I said gets washed away, because this one realization that whatever I did to that person was only for me to understand the value of forgiveness and how to bring forgiveness into your life. The incident is not important. Here only the experience is important, masters. We come with co-masters because a situation has to be created to learn the lesson that you have come here on this earth for. And that could be in any form. I could have cursed Hari, or I could have said things to Hari. Hari is not important here. Sorry, Hari is important. But for our understanding, Hari is not important. What is important is the experience that has happened in your life. If it wasn't Hari, somebody else would have been in that same place and the same story would be still happening. So here, the forgiveness lesson that you are learning is an experience for you. If you have received that experience, finished, that energy cycle, that karma has been solved. But once this penny drops, everything else gets washed away and the life becomes so easy, masters. Because we have raised this topic, I really want each masters to every day get up in the morning and focus on this, that life is nothing but experiences. Today, whatever comes into my life is for me to learn a lesson. And what is that lesson part of? My soul plan. We all have come with soul plans, and soul plans is full of lessons. Lessons means experiences. So if your guilt is not going, even after all this forgiveness practice, understand that you have received the experience for which this situation has been created. And 10 out of 10 times, masters, this helps bigger understanding. It helps us to clear the small confusion.